Hey, boys and girls, welcome to another day with your host, Ranger Matt. I am thrilled that you guys are here today. I know a lot of people are happy at the guest I have today. I know I am. She is more happier than the happier pimp out in Las Vegas. Vega. I'm just kidding. um, who is hot today? Because it is hot in the mess of collard greens on a Sunday morning, let me tell you. Just make certain y'all got y'all H2Os with y'all. I know I got my vitamin C, vitamin D. I got this. This is clear fruit. It's water, but juicy, and I got two different flavors of it because it's hot. I was gonna get on my Corset and ride out to the Old West, but I parked them in the back, and I sat to stay and catch some water and reminisce about the Gunsmoke years. Yeah, I'm that old, you know. I'm old in the Mississippi. Pardon me, y'all. I'm having my moment. Welcome aboard today. I'm excited for this. Fred Holmes, if you're watching, I'm gonna give you a shout out. Thank you for watching today, my friend. Thank you, thank you. My guest today, she is incredible. She's had an incredible journey, amazing singing voice. She is going to be the next president of the United States. She is relating her next solo album. She is going to be at the Grammy Awards going neck and neck with Beyonce. I'm telling you. Now, if you don't believe me with this, here's a little proof. Here we go.
But you could use a little water. Here you go. What makes a flower so pretty? How does it cheer up your day? I think a flower is most beautiful when it is given away. There you go.
What? Whoa, that feels good.
Barney!
Hi, Kim. What makes a flower so pretty? How does it cheer up your day? I think a flower is most beautiful when it is given away.
Now, does she have a singing voice or does she not have a singing voice? Come on now, give it up for her. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Erica, well, Erica Rose. We all known her back then as that. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Danielle Vega is in the house. How you doing, Danielle?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you, Matt?
Doing good in the old west. Let me tell you. Now, I know I played that during the reunion, but I gotta ask, what was that like watching that clip of you singing "What Makes a Flower So Pretty" and that dance number between you and Barney? 'Cause I know that was David Joyner in the suit at the time. So, what was that like?
Yeah. No, it was always a lot of fun working with him and then just being on set. I always, I did. I always liked it when I got my little solos and they highlighted my singing voice because even then I love to sing and I love to dance. And then, of course, just being able to work one on one with David was always a good time. So,
Right.
yeah, it's fun to watch.
Well, I gotta say, I mean, it's something about. I mean, of course, I've heard that song a lot on Barney with different
Yeah.
episodes, but there was something about that particular spot with letting you sing because, like you said, it's kind of rare when the kids get a solo moment to sing a part, and
Mhm.
hearing that. And for some reason, for me, when I hear it, it made me want to go find a flower and give it to a lady to say, "Listen, this is what makes a flower so pretty is by letting you shine. Just hear this
Aw.
song and hear what I'm saying."
Yeah, no, good. I'm glad that it inspired that, you know. It was that's what I think. I anytime, especially during the summer months and spring when the flowers really start to bloom, there are certain Barney songs that I think will forever come to mind, and that is one of them for me too. So, I want to give it to myself, but you know what I'm saying. Just kidding, just kidding.
No, it's cool. I mean, like I said in the intro, you going when you gonna get Grammy. I mean, well, let me ask you that: have you had an interest to releasing these singing albums or anything?
I have thought about it. You know, it was something that I wanted to do when I was younger. Um, and for whatever reason, I always felt that getting into the music industry was harder or, just more difficult than it is even for acting, which getting breaking into acting can be very difficult as well. But I think
Yeah,
because I already had somewhat of a leg up, being a Barney kid, I never thought of it that way. Like, man, it's hard, it's hard, it's hard. But, I guess starting off at such a young age, I understood the concept of the peaks and valleys that are involved with the entertainment industry in
right.
general. With I mean, there's a lot of judgment, yes, because you are judged on your ability, you're judged on your looks, if you're right for the part, et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes it's very political based on who you know or who your parents are, unfortunately. But I always felt that with singing, there was a little bit more to it, from a negative aspect, in my opinion,
Right.
from the judgment and, or really just going against your morals and your values a little bit more, depending upon who you work with or how mainstream you wanted to be. Um,
Mm.
and that was something that I didn't want to negotiate on. So I decided not to pursue it. But I
Wow.
think, now that there are more venues, more platforms available to be able to do, independent work, and post them, on your own. It is something that I have thought about, even just from, maybe putting out a kids song album or a holiday, album or something like that.
Right.
I have worked with some friends on music, that will come out. I know of one that will be on Spotify later this year. So when that happens, I will let you know.
Please do, so I can see it.
Yeah,
Y'all hearing it
yeah.
for the first time, fans. Check it out
Yeah,
now.
but that'll be my that will be released, which will be available to the masses. So I've done EPs, I've done, albums, just for myself that I've given out to family or friends who want them. I think my mom still has some at her house in Texas.
Mm.
But this will be the first like major release, I guess. So it's fun. It's fun to think about. It was on my bucket list to have a song on Spotify this year. So, and it's gonna happen. I'm happy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now wait a minute, you Texas. Now where's your cowgirl hat at in the boots? Now you got to saddle up here.
I think they're probably still in Texas.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I was born in Georgia, raised in Texas, so I very well should claim it. But Dallas is different from, like Houston or Austin. There are some ranches and people ride horses, but it's more metropolitan.
Danielle, you got some fans here are happy to see you. One fan from Melbourne, Australia is happy to see
Wow.
you. One fan says
Good
hello.
day,
You're one
mate.
of their favorites.
That's the extent of my Australian accent. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry if I butchered it. You know,
It's okay.
watching Bluey with my kids.
Uh, you know, next thing you could do like voiceover work, like for Disney or somebody, because you just gave an example right there. There you go.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I gotta broaden my horizons.
Well, I got a clip I'm gonna play you. This is a little something something, some moments with Kim, and then we'll get into your background a bit.
Okay.
I know, it's a pepperoni pizza. That's right. Fun. There. All finished.
Yes, Kim, did you hear that?
Yes, I did, Barney. It sounded like a cow.
That's right! And you have 1 point!
Watch this. What?
Now, can you still do that?
Those were fun. I appreciate the first few too, coming from Barney's sensational day. That was my first acting job. I mean, well, first acting job, first Barney job too. So that was the
Mm.
first video, first anything that I did associated with Barney.
Now, was that? Now, I remember when I first had that tape too. It was very interesting, and I remember seeing you. I was like, "Oh, they got a new girl here," and then you was in the Captain Pickle Save the
Yeah,
Day video with BJ.
I loved it. Speedy girl. I think about that. I asked my son the other day and I was like, Have you thought about what you want?" I know, Matt, it is only almost July. We're in like towards the end of June. I know, but I think about these things because Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. Okay, so just let me live. What
Wait a
I
minute.
asked him, I asked him, I was like, have you thought about what you want to be for Halloween this year? Because we always do like a family theme. And I'm trying to encourage him, strongly suggest the superhero thing because I kind of want to be Speedy Girl. After all of these like clips have come up and thinking about, the my Barney days, I was like, that would be fun.
Yeah, I would love to see that. You should get your husband to film you in the costume and just do a pose, be like, "Speedy Girl
Yeah.
is here." I mean, I don't know if he's going to get in the BJ costume or not to do all that, but
I
yeah.
might have a better chance with my son or maybe my daughter because she's only 2 and can't really object. But yeah, no, it might just be me living alone as Speedy Girl while they're like Marvel or DC characters.
Well, I gotta say real quick, there's a gentleman named James and Samuel. They both said hello. James, I think is dreaming. He's like, "Is that really you?"
Aw,
And
yes.
and my best friend, who I've known since middle school, Devin, is watching. He says hello.
Hi, Devin.
Um, this might be a random question, but I'm just curious. So, when I first saw you as a kid, I
Uh-huh.
thought you were African American, and then I found out you were maybe part Hispanic. Like, so are you mixed in the way? Okay.
I am mixed, yes. So my dad is white, so Irish and British. And then my mom, on my mom's side, she is Spaniard, Cherokee Indian, African American. There's some European in there too, but yeah, very mixed on my mom's side.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's where Vega comes from, why I changed my name. As I got older, a lot less people saw just I don't know. They felt that Erica Rhodes didn't necessarily agree with who they were visually seeing for whatever reason.
Mm.
And as an older woman, I should have just said, "Well, that's not really up to you. It's my identity." But here we are. So I was encouraged to change my name. So Danielle is my middle name, and Vega is a family name on my mom's side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I loved it. Well, of course, I remember you as Erica. Wait a minute. Does she have a twin? I mean, Daniel Vega, but
I
but
wish no, Loki. I've always wanted a twin. But anyways, that's neither here nor there, and that's kind of weird. But anyways, I
sure. Okay.
random facts about me.
hmm
No, but also when you become a professional actor, you can join the Screen Actors Guild,
Right.
SAG-AFTRA now, and there was already an Erica Rhodes who was part of the guild. So I would have had to change my name anyway because there can't be 2 actors with the same name. Yeah.
Right.
So I
Well.
could have I could have just incorporated my middle initial, but I didn't want to be so similar to somebody
Mhm.
else. So that was another reason for the prompt in the name change. Yeah.
Because I mean, now jokingly, I said, now this is just me, but I was just
Mhm.
jokingly saying, I said, maybe the reason why she wanted to change the name is because I forget his name, but the one judge who looked at you like you was crazy when he was on
Ugh.
American Idol, when you were singing the "I Love You" song, and he was like,
Was it Neil Patrick Harris? He
no, it
had him
was it was
sign the
another gentleman.
towel.
Yeah, because his mouth just dropped. And I'm like, now he knows who Barney is. Why you looking at you like you crazy? And I was like,
He
maybe
knew.
maybe
He
that's why you changed.
No, I could care less. At even at that point in my life, in order to even put that outfit on and know that I was going to be on national TV, I have to have some notion of not caring what others think.
Right.
So yeah, that was just him being him.
Yeah. I remember that real well, and I remember thinking, Barney might be watching, going, look at Kim, she's all grown up here now.
It happens. But
Yeah.
I felt like I was tasteful even in my dominatrix outfit. I was fully covered, Matt.
Well, my friend Devin just said you look like you're still 19.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I am closer to 40 than I am 30 these days.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, but it's good. You know, you are as old as you feel, and I feel young. My kids
Right.
keep me young, and I remain active and I watch what I eat, although I will drink a cup of coffee or two or three every day. And
No wonder you wired today.
I know most days. Hello, I have a 6 and a 2-year-old. I have to keep up with them. They're like Energizer bunnies.
Right. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Seriously. And then they ask for a change in battery and it never stops.
Hmm. Um, well, how did Barney come about for you when you first joined the show? And did you know who Barney was at that time?
I was never really a Barney watching kid when I was younger. I think I was
Fans, y'all did not hear that. She did not just say
I know.
that.
I mean, it was part like I think it was I don't remember how long it had been on the air at the time, but I started off and was a big fan of like Sesame Street and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like that was my thing. Um,
Blasphemy.
I know.
I'm
But
funny.
I mean, I became a fan after getting on, if that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I auditioned. We moved to Texas when I was around like 5 years old.
Mm,
And I started acting lessons at Young Actor Studio, which was in a suburb of Dallas, like outside of Irving. And David was my one of my acting coaches there. So David Joyner, who was in the Barney suit, was my acting coach, and they often encouraged us to look into Backstage, which was a magazine, or really, I mean, really like a newspaper for actors at the time. And they had listed an open call
mhm.
audition for child actors for to audition for a children's series. And they didn't say the name or give any other details beyond that, other than where it was going to be held, which was at KD Studios, which was in Dallas. And I remember at least the first audition, like the line was outside the door, and so we waited for a long time to get into the room. And I think there was, you know, the initial audition of just like more so of a meet and greet look
Right.
to see if how outgoing you were as a kid, because obviously it's more difficult to work with children who are shy or can't take direction or something to that effect, right?
Right.
Um, and then, you know, I had a callback, and then I had another callback, and I think I had one more after that. And that last one, I remember the first one, or at least the waiting for the first one. And then I remember being in the room for the last one, which that one was in front of the producers, the choreographer, you know, Miss Penny, different directors that I would have been working with after booking the show, and and right in front of them was a big Barney plush doll sitting on a chair, and I had to sing "Happy Birthday" to Barney, and then do like a little dance. I think that Miss Penny would have choreographed during that time. And yeah, and I did that. And then afterward, I didn't hear anything for about 2 weeks and kind of thought that I hadn't booked it. But then I received a phone call at my house on my house phone landline. And they told me that they wanted me to be a part of the show. And then they explained too that it you know I guess it took them so long to reach out to me because they were going back and forth as to whether they wanted me to be a part of the tour group, which was going on at the time, or if they wanted me to be a part of, you know, the actual series itself. And ultimately, they decided that they wanted me to be a part of the series. And yeah, so after that, I went through Barney boot camp, and then, you know, had my first day on set, and it was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, first off, praise you for that you got the job and you was able
yes,
to pull it off because you was
yeah,
on there. You started in season 3, which was kind of the last year for the early kids,
yep,
Tasha and all that, and
yep.
then you stayed until like season 6ish.
Yeah, yeah. The bulk of my work was season 4 through 6, but I
Mm,
was in that last video for season 3 before, you know, the turnover of kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty exciting because I guess I wasn't sure, after understanding that there was going to be a whole new group of kids if I was going to be a part of it. Um,
Right.
and obviously thankful that I was.
Yes, because you changed Barney in America forever when you joined, you
I
know.
appreciate that. I often joke and say that after my growth spurt happened, I became the Michael of my generation
Oh my gosh.
because I was definitely one of the tallest.
Mm. Yeah, well, I don't think I noticed that. I mean, I think
Oh,
because
you
I
did
always
it? Good,
I
good.
thought it
Never
was
mind.
a
Forget I
oh,
said anything.
okay. I was gonna say I always thought it was like a tie between maybe you and what's the
Mara?
yeah, who played Keisha. Yeah.
Yep, yep, yeah. She and I had growth spurts like during our stint on the show. So, and it's funny. I feel like I haven't grown since. So it is what it is.
Me oh my.
I know, I know.
Um and I also want to, give praise to Miss Penny. I mean, I know of her. I know we've lost her, and I've heard a lot of stories about her when I did the documentary. So I've always wondered about her and the kids working with her because she was like Barney's and y'all mom in a way because
It
she was
was.
like the
Yeah,
choreography and being on point, knowing your lines, and I always
everything.
wondered about that.
She was she was like a mom because like you have this you have respect, you have love, you have fear, you have, the fear of disappointment, right?
Hmm.
You did not want to disappoint this woman, and that was the greatest fear out of everything because, yeah, she was awesome, and she was incredibly talented, with everything that she did. And I don't I didn't know much about her family in general. I'm sure she had kids because I always felt like she was pretty great with us and working with us, and um, just her ability to be patient enough to teach kids, and especially with dance and choreography because it can be really frustrating.
Right.
Um, and yeah, she was amazing, Miss Penny. She was awesome.
Well, she did have two children, and I don't know if you noticed, but one of them was her daughter. She was in the Barney Radio City show and played. She was the girl Kelly. That was Miss Penny's daughter.
Oh, see, I learned something new. That's awesome. I love that. I love that.
Trivia.
It's very
Um, what is your favorite Barney song, if you have
Oh
one?
man. I feel like, well, I mean, Mr. Sun has always been a staple for me. I love Mr. Sun. But I think, if I had to have like a close second, speaking of, going back to when I said I always think of a song every time I go outside that's Barney related. Wintertime songs. What is the I don't know what the actual title is, but it's cold fur. I wish I had fur. I wish I
I
was
wish
a
I was a
with
bear with
furry
furry
hair.
hairs, cause the cold. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. Every time I have to bundle up my kids for a cold winter day, I always think or sing that song.
Right.
So, and if you catch me in a good mood, I may actually do the movements too. So, yeah.
Now you don't seem like the type that'd be in a bad mood though, but
Oh, I appreciate
everybody has their days.
it.
So
We do. We do.
mm. um see I need that kind of spirit when I'm on the road and because I'm a delivery driver doing my day job and
Oh, nice.
it'd be some crazy drivers out there. So I need that kind of spirit when I'm out there on
Yeah.
the road.
Yep. No, I feel you. That's how the parent drop off line or pickup try to get my kids to school or from school and having to wait behind all. Yeah. We're not going to go there, but yes, I feel you.
Gotcha. But I will say this before we get into Barney, because we talked about parenthood. I was going to say, looking back at your life on Barney, and now as an adult and a mother now, how
Mhm.
has parenthood shaped and changed you as at you're in your 30s now? So how has
Yeah.
that changed and shaped you up over the years?
I think it has definitely helped. I think, once you have an experience like being on a children's show, it's similar to I guess, similar to what a teacher feels with just working with kids in general,
Mm,
knowing these songs, or even like the activities that we would do, or how things were explained, right? Like it all has helped me with being a parent, to my kids, from
right,
the patience aspect, uh, just knowing to slow down, um, knowing to live in the moment and understand, just how fun it is just to be together and have fun. And that, fun doesn't mean, necessarily like going to some place extravagant. It could literally mean just getting outside and looking at the clouds, or, just being observant of what's around you, like a beautiful flower or something like that. I don't know.
right.
That's I don't know. Yeah. I look at the differences, just between myself and maybe like some of my other like friends who are parents, or even like my husband, who, don't share the same experience that I did with being on Barney. And even think about, like Mara, who has two girls now, who played Keisha, who has two
Right.
girls, and just looking at her stories on Facebook or on social media, and her interactions with her girls, and I often, or even Marissa, who has her three kids, and just their involvement, and then comparing it to my involvement, and then thinking about those friends who did not have that experience with their kids. And not to say that they're not, good at parenting or anything like that by any means,
Right.
but I think that we have a certain repertoire to pull from, that, has helped us, I think. We didn't have to learn all of these songs for the first time. Like, we were literally just remembering and pulling from memories. So, yeah.
Now, what was it? Now, I have to ask. So, when your time on Barney came to an end, was that sad? I mean, what was that like when you left the show?
It was, it's like graduation, right? Whether you're graduating from high school or college, where it's bittersweet. You're ready for the next chapter, but obviously you're going to miss those people that you've been with for so long. And thankfully, a lot of us have kept in touch, and social media wasn't around then. So a lot of us were able to get back in touch, and it's been nice, even, Jeff, after the reunion video that we all did together, with you. That's what I'm talking about, with you. um
Thank you.
yeah, we found, because my family and I are going to be relocating to Georgia soon, and he's actually based there. So we're going to make plans to get together and hang out and make it a regular thing, and not just a one-off, right? Um,
Right.
so we're making plans to do that. And the twins, every time we're in Texas together, or because one of them actually lives in Nevada. So if ever we're visiting any place that anyone is, we try to make time to get together with them. So some are more difficult to pin down. I get it. We all have lives, especially like when you bring kids into the mix. But it's because one is either sick, or one has a game or plans or something like that, and it's hard.
Right.
But the fact that we've all been able to keep in touch, and it's been nice. It has made the transition, I guess, even 30 years later, much easier.
Yeah, and Barney, and I've mentioned this to folks, and when we did the reunion, Barney was a great show for you guys, a great show for fans, including myself. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a period for its time, and it's weird when you think of Barney. It's like that was the '90s, and so much
Yeah.
time has gone by since then. And it's like, wow,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
There's been a lot of time has passed. So, but it's I think it it's a testament to it's a testament to the show itself, that it's timeless. You know, the
Mm,
concepts, the I you know the concepts within the episodes and the show itself. You know, they're lessons that are not going to be, soon, right? Kids are always
right,
need catchy songs. They're always going to need, the encouragement in using their imaginations, the encouragement in knowing that learning is fun. And it shouldn't be a chore. And even, the ideas of um, familial dynamics and friendships. We had so many different kids of different backgrounds on the show, and literally, I believe that, although it wasn't talked about so much, we had episodes where we talked about. Robert's family and what it meant to, feliz cumpleaños, right? Like bringing in like Spanish heritage. And then, of course, you had Stella, who would travel all over the world, coming to visit us in dirndls and, and speaking in different languages. And it was awesome. They weren't limited in what they were able to learn.
right,
And I think that that's incredibly important, especially today. So it's a timeless show.
right. Let me see if I can. That was your son.
Yes. Sorry.
It's okay. I was going to put myself to the test. Let me see if I can do this right with you. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
Sí, muy bien, hermosa.
Gracias.
I know the little bit, a little bit.
You know
So,
enough, yeah.
and speaking of good songs,
Oh,
let me
I'm
see.
sure we'd be tickled. When I feel happy, I can smile the biggest smile I know. Then you can see my happy show.
Come on, get silly and laugh with me. Giggle, gaggle, wiggle, waggle, ho, ho, ho.
When you're feeling happy,
Let it show.
That was a fun one. I mean, that whole video was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So,
Barney in outer space.
yes, yes. And gosh, that set in particular, that one and the set for Camp Wanna Run Around, just the transformation that they would do to these studios. Oh my gosh. Because before they would put anything in there to build up for the actual episode or the video, it was just a white room. It was a
Right,
white room with a slanted wall. It wasn't, hard cut 90-degree angle. It was curved.
right,
And it like we would rehearse in that space, and then within what, a week tops, I guess, it would completely transform into what they needed for that particular episode or video. And so walking
right.
in there, yeah, it was amazing what they were able to do. But that was a fun video, being able to pretend to fly or float. I loved the astronaut suit that I had to wear, the space suit. And then, of course, working with Min, who came back to be the robot. I can't remember the robot's name, but yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. I have to say too, what was great about you guys, you, the twins, Steven, Keisha, Robert, everybody,
Mm.
Curtis, was because when Barney started, it was the Backyard Gang, and then the season 1 through 3 kids. So to have you guys come in for those 3 seasons, I mean, y'all really held y'all own for y'all generation of
Hmm.
Barney kids before the next group came. I do remember the day later on. As I got older, I watched other things, and I turned back, and I was like, what happened to all the kids? And who are these newbies? And they got a caboose on the set now, and Barney's voice is
Right.
different at this point.
Yeah,
I'm like, where am I go? But
yeah.
I mean, the earliest I remember as well, but y'all generation particularly, I mean, Barney out of space, walk around the block with Barney. It's time for county and can't run around. They did the Barney movie in between and all that, Barney's Great Adventure. So I mean, that whole dynamic that you all had for y'all group particularly, everybody was great, but y'all group, it's like y'all held y'all own. It was like, look, we're the next generation of Barney kids. We can do this. So I love that
Yeah.
dynamic.
Thank you, thank you. That's interesting you bring that up. I never thought about that before, like what it was like as a viewer seeing the transition of, really like not having the same cast anymore at all. Like all of a sudden you just turn it on and everyone's changed.
Right.
Like, I mean, I know I hate it like when I'm watching a show and even one character doesn't come back. I'm like, what? Or what they change them. And I'm like,
Right.
what is this? The audacity. So
Right.
yeah.
It's like watching the soap operas and you come back after a few months and it's like, well, some shows cast may stay the same, but the rest you come back and like, who are all these people? You know, 'cause there was one show I used to watch called Degrassi,
Oh,
and
I
there,
watched that. Yes, I was a
I
big fan.
I I love the early kids from the first
Yes,
few
but
seasons.
after they changed it, I was like, nope, I can't watch it anymore.
Right.
but but yeah, like when Drake, Aubrey Graham was on there before. Yep, I watched it for that generation. But then
Yeah.
afterward, yeah, I was like, no. I switched to Skins after that, and that was interesting. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't. I mean, I have some on DVD and I taped the shows as well. But I remember I came on maybe a year after they did the school shooting when Drake's character
Okay.
ended up in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
That's when I first started watching the show. But the early stuff, I
Did you go back
remember.
and watch the early stuff though?
Oh heck yeah!
Oh,
Because I loved everything about that show. I was a huge, I was well. It's hard for me to pick who my favorite character was, but I loved the character of Sean and
yeah,
Emma,
yeah,
and I loved Drake's character Jimmy.
yeah.
Spinner was just out there,
Yes,
but
yes. Yeah. I
and
would
then
have to go back and watch it as an adult because I'm sure it probably just, there's a lot of stuff that I missed.
it was a good show for. Well, it was a lot of good shows for its time back then. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have kids, so I don't know what new shows are out there as much, but there are some things I've seen a little bit, and it's like not the
It's
same. I
not the
mean,
same.
even all the way back to That's So Raven and some
Yeah,
other shows from that period. It's like Rugrats, Hang On, Rocket Power, all that stuff.
I know. Memories, memories. No, I mean, being that my kids are still so young, we watch a lot of um, Katie in the Classroom, Miss Rachel, a lot of Danny Go. So we're into that right now. Um,
Right,
and even Scratch Garden, I like that just from a YouTube perspective. On when it's TV oriented, we'll watch Disney.
so wait a minute. So scratch a garden. So you go in the garden and you scratch. That's what you're saying.
No, no. It's like a kids series of like different songs that are educational. I know for my son's age group, there's counting like all the way up to 100, and you can do it by twos, by threes, by nine. And then he's learning uh different things as far as, well, for my daughter, like the vowels and the pronunciation, and then it goes through the alphabet. There are also some like very silly songs, like ones like enchilada enchilada, extra spicy salsa, eat it in the kitchen but don't step in the lava. It's just very silly stuff, very catchy, but they love it. Freeze dance, they also talk about yoga and yoga poses and breathing. And I'm like, oh, this is great. So,
Mm,
parents, Scratch Garden.
there you go.
But yeah, that's
um,
what we're watching. So,
the only newest, well, I don't know how new it is now, but the only newest show I've seen, because they have a similar field, is there was a show called Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, because it has the theme of
I
Mister
love
Rogers'
Daniel
Neighborhood.
Tiger. Yes, I do appreciate that one. Both my son and my daughter will watch that one because it works on
Mm,
different levels. And then they also play the game on the PBS Kids app. Nice little
right,
play. So I like that, and I do because I grew up watching, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and it's a nice update to the series, you know,
right.
and the fact that like what's her name, Katarina, is that his friend who's the cat. Her mom is the puppet that Mr. Rogers would that he actually worked one on one with,
Right.
um, in and on his actual show while he was doing his thing. So
Yeah.
it's nice that they've transitioned on the show as well. I guess is the point that I'm making.
Right. I mean, well, like I said, I mean, I haven't fully seen it, but when I first turned to it and I heard Daniel Tiger's name, but I'm not like, oh, Mr. Rogers, grateful day in the name, same
Yeah.
rhythm. So,
Yep.
you
Yep.
know, but I will confess, and I'm live so my fans will hear this for the first time. I am a sucker for the PBS Go app because I still like Arthur. It was one of my favorite shows, and
Yeah, me too.
it's still on there occasionally.
It
So
is. It
every
is.
once in a while on the weekends, I'll find myself going, "Oh, the first episode of Arthur is on." Let me, okay. So
Yeah, no, I mean, it's nice to have those moments of, just childhood nostalgia, and they bring back a lot of feelings and simpler times.
right,
And Arthur was good. I mean, I still enjoy. I have the song. I pulled it up on Spotify and will play it. Like I've added it to my son's playlist. You know, every day when you're walking down the street. That song, that intro song was
right.
there. So yeah.
Just don't. I will say, for me and Arthur, don't play Crazy Bus. I didn't
Oh,
care for that. I didn't care for that song. My mother knew it, but I didn't care for that. So I'm like, no, no. I'm with Arthur on this one. No, cut that off. No,
where is it so I can look it up right now? No, just kidding.
look.
Just kidding. Just
That's
kidding.
the end of this podcast for the day, folks. Y'all have a good. I'm just
Yeah, no, right.
kidding.
We got like 10 minutes.
Right. And speaking of another great moment, I got one little clip here. This is something else you did.
Break out the tequila. Let's toast to Lupe Martinez, que en paz descanse. You okay? Yeah, just a cramp.
You went into labor in that episode.
I did later on that night. Yep, in the living room of my friend's house.
I didn't really know that show, but I know you was in it, and there's an actress named Naomi something. Because
Yeah,
she went on to get this.
Noemi Gonzalez. Yeah.
Yeah, because she went on to play the Selena series recently and some other things. So, oh, you
And
know Selena? Okay.
yeah, and so did Gabriel Chavarria. He played the brother.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she was on the drums and he was on like the bass, I think. Yeah. But
Mm,
yeah, they were both in the Selena series.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Small world.
Small world. No, but that was, I mean, East Los High was a game changer for me, for my career. It was somewhat of an experimental series, because it was the first of its kind, um, in the interactive nature, where
Mm,
they had it, living on Hulu. It was a Hulu original series, and but you could also go to the website and actually click on the links that we talked about in the show, whether it was dealing with domestic violence or with teen pregnancy, or wanting to get help, because Vanessa contracted AIDS during the first season. So dealing with all of that stuff and being a hub for the resources that kids or adults could click on and find out more information if they needed the help, to do.
right.
So, well, that was fun. My second season on the show, I was actually nominated for a daytime Emmy, and the show itself was nominated. So yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time.
Well, I'm going to say that now, unfortunately, I don't have an Emmy Award for you, but I do have a Reels for you with a very popular song that I think people know. I'm sure you know this song real well. It's little moment of tribute to you. Let me see.
Okay.
Come stop your crying, it will be alright. Just take my hand, hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry. For one so small, you seem so strong. My arms will hold you, keep you safe and warm. This bond between us can't be broken. I will be here, don't you cry. 'Cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. You'll be in my heart. No matter what they say, you'll be here in my heart. Always. Why can't they understand the way we feel? They just don't trust what they can't explain. I know we're different, but deep inside us, we're not that different at all. And you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. Don't listen to them, 'cause what do they know? We need each other to have to hold. They'll see in time. I know. When destiny calls you, you must be strong. I may not be with you, but you got to hold on. They'll see in time. I know. We'll show them together, 'cause you'll be in my heart. Believe me, you'll be in my heart. I'll be there from this day on, now and forevermore. Ooh, you'll be in my heart. You'll be here in my heart. Always. I'll be with you, be here in my heart. I'll be there always. Always. I'll be with you. But I'll be there for you always. Always and always. Just look over your shoulder. Just look over your shoulder. Just look over your shoulder. I'll be there always.
Aw, that was really nice. Thank you, Matt.
No problem. I mean, that's something I always try to do for my fans, is try to do like a tribute video. I mean, you've done a lot of work over the years, and I know time and purposes is getting short, but for the heck of it, we gotta end this just right.
Oh, the stars are a nice place to visit, Kim, but there's still no place quite like home with all the people you love. I love you, you love me. We're a happy family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too?
I love you, you love me. We're best friends like friends should be. With a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too?
Aww. I love that Miss Kepler was just asleep the entire time in that video too.
I noticed that. I was like, was she asleep the whole time?
Yeah, the whole time
Like,
she waited until Barty disappeared.
right. And I'm like, now, how did she sleep through the ship making all that noise and just, because anything loud like that, it might wake me up. So I'm like, and I'm right
Yeah,
there, you know.
so funny,
Hmm.
so funny. Aw, those were beautiful. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. I mean, listen, okay, everybody is loving it. The fans are enjoying it. One fan is crying because he's happy. I mean, you touch so you guys touch a whole lot of people, including myself. That's why I did the documentary, is to pay homage and
Yeah,
give back and say thank you. I mean, Danielle, Erica, Kim, I don't know your character name on East Los, Cece,
Ceci.
Ceci.
Yeah.
I mean, you did it all. I mean, what's next for you? What are you doing next other than motherhood?
Next is, getting through this move to Georgia from Illinois, and tapping into the market out there, just really, really expanding because Atlanta is considered the second Hollywood.
Hmm.
So there should be more opportunity out there. And yeah, it's this is an industry that there are forever ups and downs. And right now I'm in a valley, but I will be back on that mountain soon.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the Tyler Perry area, Atlanta, Georgia. So
It is. It is. Yeah. They also do a lot of Marvel films out there. The Walking Dead was filmed out there for a very long time. So there's a lot of opportunity in Georgia and the Southeast in general. So yeah, I think it'll be a good move. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll
I
see
know
what
that
happens.
I will keep you guys posted on everything.
Please do. Now, unfortunately we got to part ways. I have enjoyed this. It's been
Me
a
too.
fun podcast show for me and everybody else. Oh, the fan just said you were in something in 1994. Salty for salt.
Yes.
I don't know what that
Yeah,
is, but
Salty
yeah.
Songbook. It's a Christian series where there was a big like book. It was a blue book, and he was a songbook, and we were Salty's little praisers. Yes, yes, I was.
Got you. I'm gonna have to
That was
check that
before
out.
Barney and Friends. Yeah.
See, gotta check that out. Well, Danielle, thank you for today. I gotta have you come back, on this podcast. We
Yeah.
gotta talk more. And now that I've learned about this from '94, because I didn't know that. So we got more to talk about.
Okay. Okay. Well, I am ready and willing whenever it happens.
Absolutely. Well, let me say goodbye to the fans, and I
Yeah.
will join
Bye,
you
everybody.
backstage.
Okay.
Well, this has been a blast from the past. We have Miss Danielle Vega on board. I've enjoyed it. I hope you guys did. Thanks again for tuning in all the time. Thank you to the fans who've been supporting my channel for the last. It's been 5 years since I launched PE Slick podcast. It's been 5 years, so it's been something. And having Danielle on has made my early birthday complete. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. There are going to be some more guests to come. I'll announce it. And also subscribe to my new Facebook page, the Ranger Mad Express Experience page. I'm going to be posting some things along the way. And we'll go from there. So thank you guys. Have a blessed day. Way down. Hi, kids. Enjoy your day. Remember, I love you. So have a blessed day, y'all. See you later.